Hi, I'm Ambassador Sujay, and thank you so much for joining us. I've had the privilege of having some amazing experiences all around the world. I come from the villages of Harlem and Sag Harbor, who sent me off in such grand style, but I'm also the descendant of two wonderful parents, Dorothy and Wilbert Johnson, who allowed me to fly. At 14, they allowed me to go to Spain and study abroad, coming back, being bilingual in Spanish and English. And so what a wonderful life I've had. I've just completed a tenure as the third ambassador, U.S. Ambassador for International Religious Freedom, a diplomat for the United States of America. How wonderful it is to have served two living presidents, President William Clinton and President Barack Obama, 3 cabinet secretaries, and now to try to bring the world to you.
It is the morning show you can listen to anytime, anywhere, online, on your mobile, on TuneIn, on Alexa, on your radio, with Dr. Sujay, Ambassador Susan Johnson Cook. I'm just saying, to some, it might have sounded like I was just dropping names all over the place, but
yeah, well, it's okay. It's okay. So, and I drop your name frequently, so it's good to be here. You know, we're celebrating Women's History Month, and I'm sitting in front of my banner for the Global Black Women's Chamber of Commerce. And all throughout the month, we're celebrating Black women business owners. And I thought, you know, who better for me as a model and example than my own mother, the late Dorothy C. Johnson. She lived to the age of 84 and was just a force in my life. She was the first Black woman I knew as a millionaire. She was the first Black woman I knew as a business owner. She started a business with my father in the basement of our home. We had just got one of these new homes, you know, part of the Black migration from the South, and they got their first home in the Bronx. And in our basement, we were some of the first to have a finished basement, meaning some stuff was up on the walls and there was some flooring. But they started this business, a security business, which is now the longest running Black family-owned business now in New York City, was a WatchGuard security agency. And so these are her pearls that I wear whenever I'm traveling. And I also wear this ring when I'm on flights, when I travel, because it's like taking my mom with me. She was from the South. She began as a sharecropper, but she knew that that wasn't her destiny. So she worked her way up to Fayetteville State. It was then Teachers College. She typed by day for the president's office and by night took her classes. And then she went back to the fields and one by one took her cousins out of the fields in a one-room schoolhouse. And so I am just excited because of the model, the force that she was. She came to New York City, met my dad, built this business, but by day she was a school teacher. So work was not foreign to her. You know, work ethics were not foreign to her. We had to have a clean home. We couldn't go to bed with the dishes in the sink. We had to make up our bed every day. But you know what? Those were lessons that I loved. And so today, this month, the entire month, really my entire life, for Women's History Month, I celebrate Dorothy C. Johnson, my mom, a woman of destiny, a woman of elegance, a woman of grace. Thank you, God, for blessing me with such a wonderful, wonderful role model.
Wow, what a testimony. And you know, I was listening to you. It's Mike Chandler along with Ambassador Susan Johnson Cook. Dr. Sujay, I was listening to you. You said your mom was in the fields down in the South. And it could not have been easy for her to do what she did, then go to school and work and do all that stuff, and then became a millionaire. What do you say to folk out there? And I know it's hard for everybody, especially now. Mm-hmm. What do you say to the person who may be faced with a mountain and say, you know, this is just too much. It's just too much. What do you say?
Well, you know, for them, the only way out of the fields was to become a nurse or a teacher. And my mother had no money. When they say dirt poor, that meant they worked in the dirt and she was poor. But she found a way to work during the day for the president's office. So you have to look and sometimes create the opportunity. You cannot be afraid because there's a mountain there. Sometimes God gives you that mountain so people will learn that you can climb it and that you can move mountains. And so we want you to find the opportunity and to be prepared when the doors open. And so make that an effort. A really small inching to that story. When I was touring with President Clinton, and I worked in his Clinton administration, we went to North Carolina for a business trip, and we ended up landing on the presidential plane in the fields where my mother had picked cotton and tobacco. So we went from the outhouse to the White House. Don't tell me there's no God. God can do the impossible. With God, all things are possible.